Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Well, it's Sunday, and welcome to the 2350 Effect. I'm the co-host collaborator of the 2350 Effect. My name is Damian Kinsey. I'm also the collaborator of the Work-Life Balance Summit that is coming up in October, the Virtual Wellness Experience, the 2350 Network, and I'm joined by and always joined by the educator, Dr. Tania Farran. Dr. Tania Farran, please introduce yourself and let people know more about you.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us this Sunday evening. It's great to be here. I'm Tania Farran. By day, my 9 to 5 position as a middle school principal virtually. Absolutely love that position. And my evenings and weekends, I spend time doing great collaboration with Damian Kinsey for those events that he shared with you, as well as Parent to Parent. I host on most Monday evenings where I bring a special guest with me and I talk about parenting topics, as well as my own book, Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. But tonight is the 2350 Effect, where we are here with you talking about a great topic that I'll let Damian introduce the topic to you.
Yeah, so the topic is simple. 12 reasons people feel stuck and ways to get unstuck. So it sounds straightforward. It sounds like a lot. Sounds complex, but it sounds like a lot of fun. So we're going to have a conversation around the 12 reasons why people feel stuck, and then you have those conversations around being unstuck. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt stuck, whether it's at, relationship, at work, your community, even in the living space you're at? These are some of the reasons why people feel unstuck, and we're going to have a conversation around kind of getting unstuck. And those people out there, comment, respond, and also feel free to invite other people who feel comfortable having this conversation. We've all been in a situation where we've been stuck or unstuck, whether it's a major in school, a class that you took and didn't want to take in college. You've been stuck at points, or even at the grocery line, standing in and like, hey, should I buy this or not buy this? Should I go back and get something else? We've all been in that situation where we're stuck and unstuck, so we're going to have a conversation around that. But before we have a conversation around being stuck and unstuck, we do have a couple of things that we want to always start with. It's Sunday, and we always start with a laugh, a call, or a text. Laugh, call, text is that thing in the last 7 days that made you laugh out loud. Get on the phone and call someone. Yes, get on the phone, pick up the phone, call someone, or text them. All right. So, Dr. Farran, in the last 7 days, or maybe the last hour, what is your laugh, your call, your text?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's always so hard to pick this. Those of you in the audience, drop in also your laugh, call, or text. I would say this week has been a really great week. I actually had a good laugh with some of my book club girls. I have a group of girls that we have been hosting book club together since 2008, y'all. And so I was excited. I hosted this past week and I shared out my theme and my table, and it was just really fun to get together with these ladies, and we talk about the book for maybe 3 minutes, and then we just catch up and laugh and have a good time. So that was my laugh caller text this week. How about you, Damien?
Nice. That is definitely a good one. Book club, having a relaxing relationship with your girlfriends, and just that level of friendship and community is
Yeah.
so important. Even so, mine's just a little bit more of like community as well. The 2350 network. We have it is Monday was the kickoff to the month of August. So every Monday we have a meeting, a member meeting for the 2350 network, which takes place on our virtual campus. Um, and Dr. Farran tends to task me with being the person who does the icebreakers for some reason, whatnot. But I like
Who's
doing
good
it,
at it?
and even from at work, I've been tasked with doing the icebreakers for the last, since the beginning of the year as well too. And my laugh call text is this one. And it sparked a lot of conversation, and it sparked a lot of conversation for myself, and we laughed about it. What is the biggest fictional villain that you can think of? And we had the conversation, we talked about it, and people brought up theirs, and I rambled off about 10 fictional villains who are just just villains, and the Joker was one of those that came up to play. Darth Vader is definitely a character who's fictional, came up to play, and we had a conversation around fictional characters.
Y'all, I'm
Gonna
cracking up
draw
laughing
some
about
more.
this.
I'm gonna give you another one that you probably didn't even think of. It's Snoopy, Lucy, taking the ball
Yes. Yes.
all the time. That is a big fictional character who is a villain at points, because I don't understand why she keeps doing that to Charlie Brown. He's running, he's having fun, and then she keeps putting the ball down. I don't know if it's bad that he keeps falling for it, or that she keeps doing it and putting the ball down. And every generation has had the opportunity to experience Charlie Brown in its essence. And that, when Lucy does that, she's the villain when she does that.
That is hilarious. You are so funny, Damien. Jackie, he is. Oh my gosh. You all, that 2350 network meeting was hilarious. I did. And this is why I tasked Damon with this of coming up with the icebreakers. It's so funny. And he was so emphatic and so passionate about his villains. He had us dying laughing, but he was so serious about them. But you're right. Even in Charlie Brown and Snoopy, Lucy, she's a villain, right? She's the villain of that one. She's always doing that. We at my family, we call that, if like, I'll give you an example. My husband, I say this to him a lot. If he takes out the trash and he doesn't put a trash bag back in, and I've got a handful of trash to put in the trash, I said, you just Charlie Browned me. Where's the trash bag? I'm holding this. So we call that in our house, Charlie Brown. You Charlie Browned me. I love that. That is so funny. But yes, you guys, we had the best time at our network meeting. It was just hilarious. So anyhow, you can drop in your villains, favorite fictional villains.
Fictional villains.
Yeah, fictional villains.
We don't want real life ones, just a fictional.
No, we don't. We want fictional villains. Absolutely.
And I'll give you the backstory why I picked that one. I was watching television, and these fictional characters kept coming up. But also, when we talk about the 2350 network, the 2350 means that don't let a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. These fictional characters, in that belief that, we're running around all day and we're thinking that these moments is our whole entire day, and that's not true. So these fictional characters can play a part in our head as well.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So we do have a jam-packed topic, as we see. I don't know why we picked 12, but there's 12 reasons why people feel unstuck. A lot of this stuff came from, doing some research and looking back and checking. Thank ChooseTherapy.com for this, helping with this topic. And the first one is, you got to build a support system. That is a reason why people get stuck at points in time. They don't have a support system. They don't feel comfortable, and it becomes a point where you start to get stuck. And those people out there, it's still a support system. Support system is so important. you kind of you can't really myself. Plus, we can everything about that. We need support. We need work. We need to know. So, whatever you feel have people supporting them. And those people are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. You're out there, you're building your company, building your network, you're building everything, and you're not getting support. And some of those things are you feel like you being held back. What's your thoughts on that? I know I'm going on and
You
on.
were kind of gurgly for me again. I don't know if it's my internet or yours, but um, I do think building a system of support is so huge, for you. And, when I started this entrepreneurial journey, I didn't have anybody, I just kind of thought, well, I shouldn't say that. I had my team. So my team at Creative Living Ideas that I built and developed, they were really my support system. And I will tell you all, we could do a whole episode on this, but just bringing the right people on your team to help support you. Y'all, I had a person who had a degree in business. I don't have a degree in business. I have a degree in education, degree in business. I have a person that had a degree as a graphic designer, a person who was in banking, and a person who had a lot of experience in editing, as well as a person who had published like 50 books already and was like a teacher for the yearbook club in school. Like, you have to find those systems of support. Now, that's just professionally for me, but I didn't know everything to start my business or even what to do with social media. And so building a system of support is amazing. And then you can also expand that system of support. So like building the support here on LinkedIn, we have the 2350 network. They have been incredibly supportive. I've learned so much from them. Even though we're providing things for them to grow, we're learning from them and growing ourselves, and really building out our connections, which is great to have so many connections. With that being said, I want to just take a minute and recognize everybody that's in the audience. Thank you for joining us today. Jackie Hallberg, we appreciate you, 2350 Network member, as well as Kenneth Dunner, Jocelyn Hernandez. Thank you for joining us from Southern Nevada. Christy Williams, it's always great to see you with us. We're happy that you're here with us. Leslie Flowers, thank you for your enthusiasm and participation today with us. Another 2350 Network member, as well as Christy being a 2350 Network member. Thank you so much. Egbu Marianne, thank you for joining us. It is nice to meet you again. I appreciate you being here with us as well. And Kenneth Dunner, if you're in here, I believe you might be. I'm not sure. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us
Kenneth's
as
there.
well. Yeah, yeah. So I think building that system of support. So even so professionally and socially, right? You have a system of support with friends and friendships. Finding that right system of support is so important for you to do. So that's step one. That's one of the first things that you can do. I think this one's really huge. The next one, number 2, identify what you really want in life. If you're feeling stuck, take some time and think about, what do you really want in life? And those of you in the audience, drop in your methods or your ways of either building a support system or identifying what you really want in life. And here's something that really, you guys, in order for our brains to be able to, think about new ideas or determine what we really want in life, we have to pause and have some peace and have to have some quiet to be able to really allow our thoughts to go. You have to let all of these thoughts kind of trickle through and get out of your brain. And then all of a sudden, when you find stillness, you're able to really start to think about, what do you really truly want in your life? And I think what's important for us to understand is that is going to probably change for you. What you thought you really wanted in your life, you may already have, and now what do you want next? Or what you thought you wanted, you've changed your trajectory and you think, that's not really what I want anymore. And it's okay to change. What do you really want in your life? I was watching this person on TikTok, and she was saying, think about where you are now. In the past, this is where you wanted to be. So what do you want next? Because in the past, this is where I wanted to be. And now I'm here. And sometimes I think we are here for a while and we're like, okay, I've learned all of what I need to learn right now, or I've done all of what I wanted to do now. Now I'm ready for something else, but I may not really know what it is yet. Do you want to add anything, Damien?
Yeah, I think with this one is it's so important because stuckness does come up, and we do get in a situation where we want like no more change. Like we want change in our relationship. We want a new car. We want to go back to school. We want a new job, but we don't know what we want next, and we want to go with that. So identifying what you truly want in your life is so important, and I think you do want to change or pivot from, or it's so important. And look at that. Am I coming out still?
I don't know. You were kind of gurgly to me again. I'm sorry. Are you all having audio issues with Damien, or is it just me? It might just be me, but I think I heard the gist of what you were saying. Um,
Okay.
but now I can hear you clearly. It's like when you start to talk, like your audio goes and then your mouth moves, and I'm like, and it's gurgly. I don't understand it. I don't know. I closed some tabs. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. Um, So identify truly what you want in your life is super important to do. Thank you, Christy, for sharing, giving yourself 1 week to sit in your feelings and then make an action plan. You may not know the action right away. That is for sure. You may not know that. Do you want to dig into the third one, Damien?
Yeah, the third one is take a look at your life from a new perspective. Have a little sitting back, reflecting, doing that inventory. This is also good when people do during the beginning of the year. A lot of people do resolutions, and they sit back and start reflecting on their lives and taking perspectives of life. So that's kind of important from that lens. Take a look at your life from a new perspective, or maybe get a coach or mentor have a conversation.
Do you think that, Damien, you could leave and come back, or would that close it out? I'm wondering if you're still very gurgly. I'm sorry to say that. And Jocelyn, I'm assuming you said yes, that he was gurgly to you too. Gurgly. Is gurgly a word? I don't know. Anyhow, he's going to say no. He
I
says
don't know.
no.
I sound like I'm underwater.
Yeah. Yeah. And it not like right
Oh,
that
maybe
second,
I'm
that
swimming.
phrase, I could hear you and then I didn't. So I don't know if like your video is lagging and your audio is ahead. It's really weird. I don't know. We've never had this happen before. So anyway, we'll just keep pushing through, hopefully. But take a look at your life from a new perspective. That's a tough one, because we a lot of times have to kind of step outside of ourselves and take a look at our life from a new perspective if you're feeling stuck. And maybe looking at it from the outside in would be something that you would do. And I think that takes a lot of reflection. That takes a lot of time. It takes courage to do that, to look at your life from a new perspective and think about what do you want. It's kind of scary sometimes. And sometimes we get put in these milestones where we have to make changes because we're stuck. Maybe we have a marriage that's kind of boring, or we're in a relationship that's not really filling us up, or we have a friendships that aren't really giving us what we need, or, turning out the way we want them to. And so taking a look at our life from a new perspective of what do we really want. That doesn't always mean distancing yourself from people. It might mean taking some different action or having different conversations with people to be able to get to where you want to be. And sometimes looking at, we talk a lot about not comparing yourself to others. I'll give you an example. One time, my husband and I were going to dinner, and I do have to say, we're going to go to the same place for dinner tomorrow night. And when we go to dinner, there was this table of these people that were in their 80s, and they were all together laughing at this big table, having dinner together, very healthy, very active people. And my husband said, I want that to be us. And so to me, that is looking at your life from a new perspective of like, what do I want my life to be moving forward? What changes do I have to make in order to live a longer, healthy life and to have this social circle that we have? Okay.
I think that's a great example. Can you hear me better?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So okay. So I think that's a great example. You're talking about what your future looks like and looking at it from a lens of other individuals. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a great example. So thank you for sharing that one.
Yeah.
Right. You want to take the next one?
Yes. This is another thing that's so huge, and people do not put this as a priority. I have been guilty of it myself, y'all, but stretch and get regular exercise. This is so good for our brain. In fact, we do this with children. When we have children in schools who are stuck in a mindset, they're crabby, they're frustrated, they're anxious, they're mad, they're having a temper tantrum, a meltdown, whatever the case might be, we get them up and we get them moving and get them moving, whether they're going to another space to do some exercise or physical activity, or we take them outside and take them for a walk, and it just changes the mood so much. And honestly, really going in and taking care of ourselves is very important to be able to do. Um, it gives you self-confidence. It increases the dopamine in your brain and the serotonin in your brain. It gives those good feeling vibes in your head. You get some deep breathing in. You're detoxifying your body when you're sweating, and it's really just kind of taking some time to love on yourself a little bit and spend that energy on you. When we're unstuck, we want to get unstuck, we want to look for things that we can control. And some of the things that we can control, right, is our physical activity, our movement, the things that we can do for our own body. And so it is a great way to get that out of your mind, and doing it regular exercise, regular. And there are times where it's really hard. We all have these phases in our careers. I'm in education. It is go time. It is crunch time. Like, my days have been long. I started, we'll start working at 5:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the evenings, maybe popping back in, having to tap in a little on the weekend. But making sure that I'm doing something like this, stretching and getting regular exercise, is so good for our bodies, and it's really good for our brains.
The thing about stretching, I actually had to drink about it the other night about the importance of stretching. I don't know why. Maybe it's subconsciously because we have this conversation when stretching is so important. And so, it kind of like giving myself that mental detox and opportunity to kind of, relax your body, take the tension from the muscles, calf, shoulders, arms. Your body goes a lot of tension. Stretch is so important.
I don't know why. Every time you start to talk about your point, it's gurgly again. It makes no sense. But before, when you said, "Can you hear me fine now?" I did. So anyway, I can't respond to you because I don't know really what you said. I'm so sorry. Guys, I'm so sorry about this. But thank you. Hi, Nick. Thanks for joining us as well. Um, yeah. Damian sounded a little like a villain at that point.
Hey, I guess that's what's gonna happen tonight. I'm gonna sound like an alien.
But now you sound fine. I don't know. It's like when you're making your point, I can't hear you. I know. Um,
Just speak louder and get my pitch up. Can you hear me clearly now?
a little in and out. I don't know. It's okay. We'll try to make it work. Don't make important decisions too quickly. Ooh, I like this one, Damian. Don't make important decisions too quickly, which I think is really important. There are times where you have to make you sometimes have to go, I have to make a decision now. But a really important decision, take some time, weigh your options. Look at things from multiple sides. Like, I feel like this is a definite strength of mine as a leader. I look at all sides of the factors that could be affected by my decisions that I make. What do you think, Damian?
Could this include impulse shopping?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I think that that's also part of it, like getting stuck. You're in a situation where, like, hey, I want to change, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then as they say, the theory is like jumping out the window. You're doing this stuff, you're just trying to do something new, and then now you get stuck again because you did
Yes.
something that you really didn't want to do, but you were so like adamant about changing and doing something different that you create another level of stuck. So I think that's kind of important when you have that conversation when you're thinking about don't make important decisions too quickly. Analyze the pros and cons.
You mean like that new car I was just looking at? I shouldn't just go buy that right now?
No, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I agree. Like, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made when you are, or a lot of things to be thinking about and really weighing all the options. And I will say, when I've trained new administrators, and I wouldn't say young, I would say new, whatever their age was, this was a skill that I taught them a lot, to not make impulsive decisions that are going to affect a large amount of people. Sometimes we think, oh, let's change this. This will be great for everybody. But we need to think about it. How's this going to affect parents? How's this going to affect the kids? How's this going to affect the teachers? How's this going to affect the community? So even that same shopping thing that Damian's talking about, how is this going to impact me long term? Do I have enough money for this? Or what does my savings account look like? What is the impact of it? Do I really need this new car, or do I just want a new car? Do I have to have this new of a car?
And it also talks about questioning yourself in this situation. So that was one of the key tips in this is questioning yourself to make sure that you're on the right path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Questioning yourself. And I will tell you that too. If you have any hesitation, follow your gut. Following your gut is always so good. If you have hesitation, just follow your gut. Your gut's going to tell you the truth. I love that. Why don't you take the next one? We're hearing you better. All of a sudden you got really loud. I don't know what you changed, but your audio kicked in better. So that's good.
I don't know. I'm just talking the same way. Take small actions to avoid analyst paralysis. Being in that situation, and this is the last one we're gonna do before we go on a break. This one is that level of feeling unstuck, and you're overthinking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything becomes an overthink. To the point where what shirt do I put on? What food do I take for work? Should I go outside now? And then all of a sudden you're just stuck and you're so behind. And you know what? You ever been in a situation where you plan, you ironed your clothes the night before, had them out, set up, ready to go, and then now you change your whole entire outfit. And then now you're going through your closet and you're going through so many clothes and you're trying to figure out what to put. That is kind of what your brain kind of does. Avoid that. Stick with something and go with it. The same thing about like dinner. You'll think about, okay, I planned this. This is the dinner I want. And then all of a sudden, when it's time to go to dinner, eat dinner, you're like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yes.
And that can be the same thing with anything. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. And I feel like, we can sort of overanalyze things so much that it puts us in paralysis, and it makes me think about little things like when people get overwhelmed with like cleaning a space or a room, or I feel stuck. I don't know where to begin. Start small, pick one little step and get started with one little thing. So, maybe you're going to fold the laundry. Maybe you're going to clean off the nightstand. Maybe you're going to make your bed. What are the few things that you're going to do? Egbu, thank you for joining us anyway. We appreciate you being here with us. But taking small action steps to avoid that analysis paralysis. We can overanalyze things way too much. We can complicate things in our brains way too much. Yes, everything is not on fire. You're right. That's right. That's right. Yep. Annie, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, I think those are definitely good ones too to add to this conversation, discussion. Taking action and avoiding. You know what? So, and speaking of avoiding, don't avoid the virtual wellness, the work-life balance summit. It is coming. It is soon. Get your tickets. Um, you want to talk about this, Dr. Farran?
I do. I'm excited about the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit, October 9th and 10th. It's going to be an amazing event. Get your tickets. You can click right here for tickets. I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Hosted by myself and Damian Kinsey. And look at these amazing presenters. Some of these you might recognize in the audience. Some of them you may have never met before. But these are our presenters, including Damian Kinsey as well as a presenter. And then we have two amazing panels. Your mental health to mental resilience panel with therapists on here, and finding the balance between day job and entrepreneurship, with some amazing people who have been working at both. And again, if you'd like to be a sponsor or a vendor, we still have those availability. Presenters full, but if you want to fill out presenter, we can consider you for something else down the road. But I want to thank a lot to our sponsors. We've got a gold level in sponsor, Leslie Flowers. Leslie Flowers Enterprise is one of our gold sponsors. She hosts Mind Over Matter Mondays and Think and Grow Rich on Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, both of those days on LinkedIn. So make sure you check that out for her. She's also going to be a moderator for us for this second topic here. So we're excited to have her join us. She's also a 2350 Network member. And then we've got another 2350 Network member, silver sponsor, Nicole Njai Galindo. She owns Guiding Brilliant Writers Publishing. She's amazing. So thank you to Nick for being a silver sponsor. And then another 2350 Network member, Jamie Rockymore Best from Helpful Living Magazine. She is our bronze sponsor. And Creative Living Ideals will be collaborating with her on a magazine project here in the very future. So we've got that to come and share with you soon too. You'll be hearing from me shortly about that. There'll be an opportunity if you're interested in being a part of our magazine. So excited about that. You can read some of our testimonials from the past. You can watch our amazing little video of our presenters, our moderators, and panelists on here. And then a little bit more about our presenters. And then, of course, when you click for tickets, it takes you to this page here that you're able to purchase your tickets. Our tickets are $175 for 2 days of the event. It's 2 full days. It is amazing. It never disappoints. People absolutely love that. Sorry, share this tab instead. But you would go here, select what ticket price you wanted. And then once you get to that, you'll be able to see the speakers and the sessions. So you can scroll through the bottom and see about all the sessions and the speakers. Now this time is my time zone, Central Time Zone. Once you go in and you purchase your tickets, it will automatically change to your time zone, whether you're on the Pacific, Mountain, or Eastern Time Zone, or in another country joining us, which we've had that as well. It's been great to have other people join us from around the world. So yeah, so take a moment, go through the topics here and come and join us. Talk to your employer about you coming and joining us, getting some more people to come join you. We would love to have you with us. It's going to be a great event. It's virtual. You're just at home in your pajamas or having a snack or having some coffee or hanging out with us.
Yes, it's definitely going to be a good experience. This is our fourth one from.
It is our fourth one. It just keeps getting better and better. Keeps getting better and better.
Right. So, yes, it's scrolling across the screen. You can get the tickets. I also dropped the link in the comment section. So it kind of looks like. Where's the link? The link is in there. I'll find it.
Yeah, you have the link in there.
Where you put
You
it.
dropped it in. Yeah.
So that's the way to get your tickets. And I think the early bird special is over, right?
It is. It ended July 31st. But the tickets are still incredibly reasonable. So
Yeah, well, you
grab
still
your
can
ticket.
get your tickets. Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the link. All
Yeah.
right. Now back to scheduled broadcasting
Yeah.
show. So we did 6. Now we're on 7. Take
Oh,
care of your physical and mental health conditions. Now, going hand in hand, we talked about stretching. We're talking about that level of physical health. Getting your physical, taking care of yourself. If you're on any medication, making sure your medication, your levels are good. You're reaching out to your doctor, having those conversations. You're working out and going to the gym. You're getting your brain right, and making sure that you are creating spaces that fill you up and not creating stress and anxiety. Those are the things that are important, and they go hand in hand.
they do.
What are your thoughts?
They really do, and taking care of our physical, a lot of times we're busy, we're working, and we think, oh, I don't have time to do that. But we have to. We have to take time to take care of our physical body by going to the doctor, women, getting all your women's wellness checkups done, and, making sure that we are healthy. Most all insurances pay for women's, annual checkups, things like that. Making sure that you're doing that, going to the dentist and doing all of your exams, as well as your mental health conditions. If you are feeling down or you're feeling sad, or you're struggling with depression or anxiety, talk to a physician about that, and get their recommendations. And, if you have a therapist, it is great for you to see a therapist and have conversations with them. We always laughed at my family. We're a therapy family. It's fine. It's like a household name to say, go talk to somebody. You get an unbiased opinion. You get tips and advice who are trained and experts in specific fields. And there's a lot of professionals, mental health professionals that you probably don't realize specialize in certain types of behaviors. Um, and different diagnoses. I wanted to say people, but I don't really mean people, but different, diagnoses that people may have. And so finding the right therapist for you is important as well, and connecting with them. But don't let those mental health conditions go.
And that's a good point. Different therapists are expert in different areas. We had this conversation when we had Dr. Q and Deanna on,
Mm-hmm.
and they talked about the importance of mental health in therapy. Same thing with a doctor. All doctors don't specialize in everything. So those are important. And we also do know and acknowledge that it's not easy to be able to get unstuck and do these things. If you're struggling with your physical and mental health, it's going to look different. It might be harder, and the struggle might be a little bit different. So we wanted to have these conversations and have these topics and bring them up so we can shed light on little tips and reasons why people are unstuck, people get stuck. But we know that there's a long road ahead, and the road looks different for everyone.
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing about the mental health conditions. Damian and I did a show a long time ago. And I think that we brought Dr. Q on maybe, but I know we just talked about preserving your mental health. And if you are struggling or suffering, make sure that you're reaching out to someone, as well as there's always the 988 number, which I think is important for people to know. It's a suicide prevention hotline that you can call. And I recommend that you do if you're having any issues. So we want to just kind of make that disclaimer. We care about all of you, and we want to make sure that you're safe and taking good care of yourself because you're important to us. All right. Determine your life's purpose. That's a tough one, don't you think? I think that takes
I
some time
agree. I
and
think I
reflection.
think it's a real tough one because you might not know what your purpose is at the moment, and it's okay. It's a process. It's ongoing, and your purpose might change from time to time, day to day. So that is so important to make sure that you figure out and determine what your purpose is. And when you talk about your life's purpose, it could be your kids and your family. It
Yes.
could be your career and education. It could be your volunteer work. It could be your education and your learning. It could be passing on your family values and culture. It could be cooking and keeping the meal. Like your grandmom's, your great grandma's recipe, or that gathering. But you have to determine that, and that's totally up to you as an individual, and that is different for every person.
It really is. And, I think it can evolve and change what our life's purpose is. And, I don't know that we all have the answer of what our life purpose is, but I agree with you, Damien. I'm definitely a career driven person. I love my career. I love being busy. I love working. I love doing this with you, doing my parenting. I love doing all of that. But I don't know that this is my purpose. Um, I think definitely caring for my kids and my husband and my family is probably a big purpose in my life. What do you guys think your life purpose is? Those of you that are in the audience, drop in the chat. Thank you, Coach Carrie, for joining us. Coach Carrie has her segments on Saturday afternoons, so make sure you catch that. Um, what do you think your life purpose is? Those of you that are in the audience. Um, I also think bringing light and maybe for me, helping parents with parenting is definitely a life purpose. It's something that
I,
I feel like, I think sometimes a life purpose doesn't always mean you're getting paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like a gift that you have.
I agree. I think my purpose is in the helping people business, especially helping young people.
Yeah,
So I think that's my passion, my calling, and what I've spent most of my life doing, whether I
same.
got paid for it or not.
Right, right. Something that you're passionate about. I love that. I love that.
Number 9.
Oh my gosh. Number 9 is really a tough trait. Like, these are some hard things to do. Like, this is work, right? And I think people forget that getting unstuck isn't just going to happen. It takes work from us to put the tools that we're given to work. And so becoming more resilient means to me letting some things go, you know, not letting every scenario or situation make me feel like the world is crumbling around me. Becoming more resilient, being able to bounce back. You didn't get the job. Boo hoo, sad for a couple of minutes, a day. Let's bounce back. What's the next thing? Where am I going next? Not really getting stuck and sitting there, The date didn't go very well. Darn it. Okay, now what's next? I'm going to let it go. Kind of what the 2350 network is about, right? Not letting these things that happen to us control our whole outcome of our day.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Kind of what Jack said, like what was talking. Your purpose can change from age to age, day, time to time, and I agree with you. It's definitely the reason what the network is about. Making sure that people have support, that professional development, that pouring in is happening and taking place, and we try to pride ourselves on listening to what the community says and our network members are. Christine, Linda, not 2350 network member, Chrissy's a 2350 network member, Jackie, Nick, Leslie Flowers, so many people out there. Thanks for joining us and spending your time with us and having this conversation, because in spaces and places it's hard at times, because you can get really discouraged. Um, you can create unrealistic expectations. You can be in a situation where you feel like you're creating a level of stuck for yourself, and the next one is let go unrealistic expectations. You know, we're not going to get everything right. You're not going to be perfect. Life does not have to be perfect. It does not need to be perfect. We don't need to even be right about everything. You don't. You can just sit in it. Let's just be realistic. And learning as individuals is so important and key. We're learning every day. We're evolving. If we don't make mistakes, we don't get better. And being hard on ourselves and have unrealistic expectations to be perfect sometimes can be a catalyst to be stuck. And some of it is about being unstuck and looking at realistic in what you can do. We can't do everything.
Yeah, I was missing some of what you were saying, but I agree. I heard you say things like, I know he sounds like a little chipmunk. That's a good way to say it, Jackie. Um, um, you can't be perfect in everything. You can't be the expert in everything. And we have to let go of those unrealistic expectations and be real about things. We were talking about this about athletes. And I know Damian and I have had conversations about athletes in the past. Like, they are the top 1% of professional athletes are the best of the best of the best of the best. And we sometimes put pressure on our kids about being the best athlete, or our children themselves put the pressure on themselves about being the best athlete. You can still be a really good athlete and have really good experiences and have a really good time, and have great memories and have accolades that follow you as well. But getting rid of that unrealistic, I'm going to be the best professional. It is a very small percentage. It is 1% probably of athletes that become the top of the top. The Caitlin Clarks, I don't know, you can name it, the rest of the players, but for example, they're just very few, right? And I think we think that in our professions too. We're not all going to go and be the CEO of Amazon or a major corporation that has become gigantic, but we can still have something great for ourselves, and what's filling us up and providing for our families very well. So not letting those unrealistic expectations get us down, but finding joy and value in what we're doing right now. My take on it.
Definitely a good point. The next one, taking responsibility.
Yeah. You're responsible for yourself, right? For getting unstuck. So we can't play the blame game, and we can't say I'm unstuck because this happened to me and because that happened to me. While those things, are hurtful and we can sit in those feelings for a little bit, we have to take responsibility on how to get out of that. What are we going to do different? What's going to be different? What do you think, Damian?
So this is a hard one for anyone. My audio is chopping, sounding like an alien. But the responsibility and the ownership is on me in this space and place. I have to try to power through it and be able to get through this conversation. And this is definitely a hard one. This isn't easy. Like, when we talk about taking responsibility, we're not in the notion of and lost in the point where, oh, it's so easy, it's going to be okay, just go out and take responsibility. No, it's kind of having that ownership of, I can only control me. I can't control anyone's thoughts, actions, or behaviors other than my own. And I think it starts there. And our level of being stuck or unstuck is that, you know what, if this space is not filling me up, I don't have to be there. So that's kind of where when you're looking at it, taking responsibility of it. Also, happy birthday, Felipe.
Happy birthday, Felipe!
Nice.
And the top number 12. Identify cognitive distortions. Those are those irrational beliefs about yourself or other people, kind of what we were talking about before, that all or nothing thinking, kind of assuming that worst case scenario. Oh my gosh, this always happens to me. I know this is going to happen to me. Really, when we distort the way we think about ourselves or the way we think about the outcome of what's going to happen to us, is a cognitive distortion. And so making sure that we are really looking at things and sitting down and analyzing our thoughts, like, is so important to do. I really want you guys to go listen to Leslie Flowers' Mind Over Matter Mondays. Like, if you're really looking at cognitive distortions and you want to clear those up, go in and listen to some of her episodes. You could dig into her LinkedIn profile and probably listen to some of those episodes and find some different ways to sort of change your thinking about yourself. Yeah, love that. Thank you, Leslie. Fear that we
And
cannot really do it. Go ahead, Damian.
I think she brought this up earlier in the show, which was definitely a good point. That level of fear. You get lost in your own brain, and you know what? I'm not good enough. I'm not gonna be able to do it. People are better than me. And then even when you're scrolling, you look at social media, and you're scrolling, and you're looking at stuff, and you're comparing yourself to individuals who you don't know what their journey is. And even some people, you're like, well, they're following their career, they're at this point, and you're not even looking at it from the perspective of who's that and who's supporting them. Like, we talked about support system, we talked about fear, we talked about responsibility, we talked about so many different parts of it, physical, mental, and a lot of it's about putting it all together and not comparing yourself to what you're seeing in your community area. Or if you want a new car, you see somebody with the car that you thought about having, you keep seeing them over and over again every place. You know, like, oh, I gotta get that car, and I can't get it because X, Y, and Z. You might not be able to get it now because of X, Y, and Z, but you'll be able to get it later because you're planning ahead for it, and not get stuck. And your timeline and everyone else's timeline are not the same. We're all on our own timelines. We're all moving in our own space and our own time. So that's kind of important when we're having those conversations. We're looking at it from the space of, you know what, cognitive distortion and getting in our own head. But sometimes we just have to get out of our own way. You're on mute now.
Now y'all can't hear me. Now you can't hear me. I love that you said we are on our own timeline. Because I think we compare ourselves a lot to other people because we're like, oh, well, they're my age and they've already done this, so I'm behind, or, you know, I'm not as good as they are. I don't have as many followers as they have. So, you know, that also starts breeding that cognitive distortion in our brain, you know, of what we're thinking that, you know, we're not good enough or we can't achieve these things. So really, you know, working on that is so important. There's a lot of work to do to get unstuck. And so, you know, will you pop Christy's comment back up there really quick? I love this. We can walk through the valley of death, but don't pitch a tent there. I love that. Christy, I have never heard that. And I love that. It's so true, right? We can walk through these things that are tough, but let's not sit in them forever, and find strategies and skills and support to go through that. You know, hi Kinga, thanks for joining us. So can we just go through? Can I read through the 12 tips real quick? So number one is, are you okay with me doing that, Damian? Okay.
Yes.
Number one is build that support system, finding a system of support for yourself. 2, identify what you truly want in life. 3, take a look at your life from a new perspective. 4, stretch and get regular exercise. 5, don't make important decisions too quickly. 6, take small actions and avoid analysis paralysis. 7, take care of physical and mental conditions. 8, determine your life's purpose. 9, become more resilient. 10, let go of unrealistic expectations. 11, take responsibility. And 12, identify cognitive distortions. Great tips to get them.
And every last one of them will look different for every person and individual. So individualize yours.
Yeah. And take just a few. Like, just go through that list and maybe just take a few and maybe just think about 1 or 2 this week, and maybe next week look at 3 and 4. Next week look 4 and 5. That's that whole piece of that overwhelming. Like, it's a long list, and each list has things to do. So break that list down into some chunks and assign yourself these tasks to work on yourself.
And also, when you also in the comment section, put down and drop in your biggest takeaway from this conversation. We would love to hear from it. Even which one kind of resonated the most with you. We would love to hear everything from you.
Yes, we would love to hear from you. Absolutely. And this is another fun part of our show. We love to close with a quote. So those of you in the audience, you can drop a quote in that you love for us. We would love to hear it. Mine today is success is not just about reaching the top, but enjoying the climb. Remember, where you wanted to be is where you are now. So where you were thinking about where you were is probably where you're at now.
I like that. For me, it'll just be simple. We're all on our own path and our own journey. And again, if there's a topic or anything that you want to talk about, you like to hear, like us to cover, please reach out to us. We're happy to cover these topics, these discussions, and don't let 10 minutes of a bad moment disrupt the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of your day. Make every minute of every day count. The 2350 Network, it's time to bring people together. And we thank you for sharing and spending your time, your Sunday with us, having this conversation. Get your tickets to the Virtual Wellness Experience. Not the virtual, the professional work-life balance summit. And if you want to become a 2350 member, reach out and go to 2350network.com to become a member. Reach out to a member, have a conversation, and we'll see you. We're off next week, right?
Yes, we are off next week.
So we'll see you week after. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you.